What's up guys? Today let's take a look at Ghost Toys Great Primal area for Fiends Chi. This figure is interesting because, well, first of all, it is based on a Chinese mythology creature, and he is also massive. Let me bring out my ruler. He is over 25 centimeters tall, so he is absolutely humongous. Let me put the coyote look for scale. And the main reason I picked this one up is not because I want a big guy. That's also from Chinese mythology in my collection. I don't really care about either usually, but this guy is... Usually the big guys are focused on shelf presence, scope, and paint job, but this guy is mostly focused on articulation, which I'm very interested to see how well he can articulate for a big guy, right? So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at the figure. First, let's take a closer look at the figure. It'll be pretty awkward because my ramshackle setup is actually quite limited in terms of space, and again, this guy is huge. Let's take a look at the face first. Let's zoom in. The details are okay. There's a pretty heavy black wash on it, and the gold paint on the eyes are nice done. Okay, and the teeth, they're all PVC, so in terms of sculpt, it's not super impressive, but it's well done enough. The hair is pretty glossy, and as far as I can tell, it's just black PVC, no paint or anything, so it's not super great looking. And of course, the shoulder, right? I'm sure a lot of people is gonna comment on that. It looks kind of weird. Yeah, it does. But for the sake of articulation, which I'm going to talk a bit later, I think this is unavoidable in order to have good shoulder articulation. And of course, you can bring out the butterfly joint to make it look a bit better. Okay, let's take a look at other details on him. I think in terms of scope, it's all right. The shoulder might be a bit too small for a character of this kind of physique, right? And the chest is also, because they have to do a butterfly joint, a big part of the shoulder and the chest has been cut out. Again, you have to make compromise in order to have good articulation, okay? And the legs, they're not exactly copy of each other, so that's great. The paint on it is well done enough. And the hand, as you can see, articulated fingers, fingernails is painted, and wash on it. Same goes for this side, although may have a little bit purple paint, probably paint bleed or paint chip there. And the feet and toenail and the back. Yeah, I think in terms of scope, it's okay. It's not super impressive because as far as I can tell, it's just purple plastic with some detailed paint job and a pretty heavy black wash. And the sculpting style is not super sharp because, probably most because the PVC they use, right? It's probably pretty soft. And yeah. In terms of visual, overall, I don't think it's super impressive. It is pretty intimidating though because how big he is. Yeah. The presence is definitely there, just it's not the best thing in the world so far, based on my collection, that is. All right, let's take a look at his articulation. The head can look up. Not very good. I think mostly because of the care. They definitely should add a joint here. Actually, comment on their sort of a preview video that they should add it. Well, they didn't listen. Shame. Look down is pretty good. Rotation, no problem. Tilt, it's okay. And articulated jaw. Let's adjust the neck a little bit. Shoulder, there's a butterfly joint that can be pulled out a lot. Obviously, it's going to be a huge gap from the back, unavoidable. And the shoulder is a ball joint there, ball hinge here. And you can also adjust the shoulder up and down, front, back, and of course 360, no problem. Okay, combining with the shoulder and the butterfly joint, yeah, this is pretty good for a big guy, right? Can raise over 9 degrees. Bicep swivel is very tight. Oof. But you can go 360. Double jointed elbow. A bit over 9 degrees. And ball hinge wrist. As you might already notice, most of his joints are pretty heavily ratcheted. They're actually pretty nicely done in terms of ratchet. It's not super tight and not loose either. And the articulated fingers, you have 1, 2, okay. This is the maximum range, and the thumb is not articulated. For diaphragm joint, and crunch forward this much, crunch back, side, and rotation. For waist cut, can crunch this much forward, which is, I think it's pretty good for a big guy. And crunch back. Again, I think it's pretty good. Side. Oh god. Pretty good. And rotation 360. You can't, I just don't want to do it because it's just a big boy that's so heavy. And can crunch forward, I think, relatively well considering his size. Okay, and you know what, let's get this off. For hip joint, drop down and also ratchet it and kick. Can't kick 9 degrees because the leg is naturally curved. Back, side, rotation, double jointed knee, great range, and ankle go pretty far back, pretty good forward. Rocker is not very good, but since it is a ball, there's a little bit rotation here, and toe joint. It's pretty tight. So yeah, in terms of articulation, this is definitely the most articulated big guy I have ever handled. I don't know how important that is for a big guy, but yeah, let's take a look at his accessories. For accessories, you got 3 pieces of glass good. This is for the forearms, Velcro tape. You can use it on either forearms. Okay. This is for skirt piece. 2 Velcro tape here, 2 here. So there you go. And the third one is a hood. It is wired here. Okay. You can put it over his head. And then the necklace. This is real rope, not plastic. So man, yeah, it's pretty alright. Nothing on the back though. And for weapons, he come with a giant axe. The handle is soft PVC. The axe itself is kind of hard, and you can see the dry brush. Okay. Unfortunately, this axe is a bit too heavy for him to hold, and the fingers, the articulated finger is a nice idea, but they're ratcheted, so he can't really hold the axe very well, like as I can see here. Even fully bend the fingers, can really hold it like this, like not very tightly, so that's a big bummer. They should definitely give us a pair of gripping hand. You also come with this little blood piece. You can put it in his face, sorry, his mouth. Oops. And that's it. Not very useful there. And lastly, he comes with 2 of these little monsters. They're not connected at the diaphragm, okay? They're supposed to be cleaved in 2 by his axe, and they have a little bit of articulation there. I don't think there's, yeah, there's no leg articulation, but it can be opened here. It is exactly the same with this guy, just transparent. I think their Chinese name is called 开山之瞳 or whatever. I don't know how to call it in English, so sorry about that. Yeah, the neck is also on a ball joint. Okay, nice little bonus there. And lastly, this metal plate, and there's a number on the back. Yeah, I am number 734. That's all the accessories. Frankly, I think it's a little bit light in terms of accessory considering the price, but you know, maybe this is their first figure and the budget might be a little bit tight. I'm not going to do any size comparison because I already measured the height at the very beginning, and trying to set out a size comparison in this little ramshackle setup is gonna be pretty difficult, so I'll jump right to the closing saw. So this is definitely going to be a very niche, but I also find it very refreshing figure to have because you don't get a lot of big figures at this kind of size that also have great articulation, okay? And as you can see, the joint strength is very strong. He is basically standing on his toes and pulling an MJ pose with no problem at all. The reason I want to make this review is not only because I like this figure a lot, but I also want to use my little platform here to basically promote and showcase the first work of this little studio. And I would rather help him promote this figure, even though I don't have any personal connection with him and this video is not sponsored at all. I just want to showcase the creativity in the toy industry as much as I can, and instead of, you know, reviewing something creative bankrupt like straight up KO of the existing figures. And the shoulder is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I am totally understand of that, but again, this is a new studio and they are trying new things, and in my opinion, you should always encourage that, okay? And so far, I think the result is pretty good. There's something that it can be improved upon. For example, I think the back of the chest could be extended a little bit. So when he is like pull out like this, it can be covered, right? All right, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.